Welcome to the Missions Mandate, a ministry training local churches in biblical faith promise giving. Just as churches are encouraged to partner with missionaries in prayer, they also share in the fruit of their labors through sacrificial and financial giving. It is a source of great joy to know that our gifts enable missionaries to send in our stead, preaching the gospel and winning precious souls to Christ. The financial cost of taking the gospel to foreign lands is an intimidating barrier to modern missions. While money alone can't convert a soul, missionaries are sent and sustained by the consistent sacrificial and financial commitment of God's people. Everyone with a heart for missions is asking, how can we better finance missions so that we can send and equip all who God calls? The great missions-minded preacher Billy Allen would say, we must send the light, but someone must pay the light bill. The missions mandate advantage. There are several advantages to the Faith Promise plan for financing missions. As a Bible-based program, it not only provides funds for missions, but also advances every objective of the local church's missions program. Faith Promise offers two great advantages. First, it elevates the church's missions program to the place of prominence the Great Commission deserves. Second, it fosters a more direct and personal connection between church members and missions, resulting in a more mission-minded church. Members are more eager to participate in missions-related activities, such as conferences, correspondence, housing, and even missions trips. Young people are more apt to respond to the call of a missionary service. Giving directly to missions through Faith Promise definitely promotes a strong sense of personal connection with God's plan for world outreach. The missions mandate approach. The Faith Promise missions program is built upon solid biblical principles. Practicing faith in finances is as necessary as practicing faith in all other areas of life. No great work for God can be accomplished without faith. There are many biblical principles found in the book of 2 Corinthians as well as throughout all of Scripture, which define Faith Promise missions giving. Pastor Tim Ellis will go into these principles verse by verse and expand on this biblical approach. The missions mandate action. As its name suggests, Faith Promise missions giving is based on a faith action and commitment. In addition to regular tithes and offerings, each church member is challenged during the annual missions conference to exercise faith in making a commitment to the church's missions program. The church increases its missionary commitment for the next year based on the faith-filled commitments. This is not a pledge to the church, but a commitment to Christ and world missions. The missions mandate application. The simplicity of the Faith Promise program makes it appropriate for churches of all sizes. God's people should be given time to pray and consider their commitment. A missions conference during this period should biblically present Faith Promise and demonstrate how the funds will be used to send the gospel around the world. The sacrifices of the missionaries serve as an example of selfless commitment to the Great Commission. Tallying anonymous commitment cards often serve as a climax to the conference. The support of missionaries in the conference may hinge on its results. The missions mandate affirmed. When promptly implemented as a faith response rather than just a new method, Faith Promise missions giving has proven to be a remarkably effective tool in financing missions. Success breeds success as churches experience significant increase in commitments each year. Faith for giving spills over into other areas of living by faith, often exciting and reviving local churches. Systematic giving provides more money for missions than periodic emotional appeals and promotes a greater commitment and attachment to missions and missionaries. The Faith Promise Plan allows for significant increases to the missions budget year by year as the congregation approaches each conference with an open heart. In our lessons, Pastor Tim Ellis will expound on these thoughts and show us from the Bible the missions mandate that is given to every local church. Each lesson will dive into a different aspect of this mandate and will help the student and church to develop a deeper understanding and appreciation for Faith Promise missions. Pastor Tim Ellis is the pastor of Bethany Independent Baptist Church in Courtland, Mississippi. The Lord allowed him to start that church 22 years ago. He has been married to his wife Lisa since 1980. Shortly after their marriage, they were both converted by the grace of God and gloriously saved. The Lord has blessed him with 4 children and 11 grandchildren. Both of his sons are in full-time preaching and singing ministries. One of his daughters is a missionary, and the other daughter faithfully serves with her husband at Bethany Independent Baptist Church. The Lord has blessed his family greatly. Pastor Tim Ellis has been actively involved in world missions for decades, with multiple missions trips and missions conferences each year. The Lord has given us a method of financing the Great Commission, and that method is biblical, proven, and fruitful. The lessons will lay before you the truth of Faith Promise and how it will bring you in contact with the heart of Christ Himself. This is the missions mandate.